Reverend Dr. Raymont Anderson is an ordained Centers for Spiritual Living minister serving the Center for Spiritual Living Greater Baltimore community as our spiritual director. His mission is to live, move, and be an active member of society who serves to educate, elucidate, and emancipate people and communities to awaken and empower themselves. I give you Reverend Dr. Ray.
You all right, Tracy? You all right? You having the giggles today? Okay,
Yes,
so
I'm having the giggles today. Oh gosh. And I'm messing up.
so good morning and blessings, everyone. Happy pre-Valentine's Day to everyone. So today we are entering into this space of pause, as Marianne just said, this ability to relax, to surrender into, to trust into this loving space, this parental, this nurturing, this supportive energy that is living, moving, and having its beingness in us. And it's precisely in that space that we now feel whatever it is, the energy, the vitality, the excitement, the vision to then move forward. So it is essential to observe oneself. Remember last week, Temet Noske, know thyself, self-awareness. It is essential to observe oneself in order to desist from experiencing compulsive emotional behaviors. Pause. Because see, that got me. Because there are times when I get triggered and my compulsive emotional behavior is comfort eating. But when I observe myself in the present, when I am observant in that moment, then I realize and I recognize I'm triggered right now. I want some cookies or pie or ice cream. Tracy, you going to the store with me? Because I'm going to get. But if I'm observant and then I'm able to make a conscious choice because I now know the cause of that what's it called? Sweet tooth. But we go on. This is achieved by replacing automatic thoughts with reasoned, present, conscious thoughts. We can live life from a position of power, knowing that we come from, that we are the very incarnation of a higher power, a higher place, a higher space of consciousness, and that there is an intelligence not just behind our existence, but it is all of our existence, living, moving, and having its beingness as us. So pause. Give yourself a moment to simply pause. What did Lao Tzu say? It is the pause in the note that creates the music. Pause. But why are we pausing? Well, Pema Chodron says, when you are waking up in the morning and you aren't even out of bed yet, even if you are running late, you could just look out and drop the storyline and take 3 conscious breaths. Just be where you are. When you're washing up, when you're making coffee or tea or brushing your teeth, just create a gap in your discursive mind. Take 3 conscious breaths. Just pause. Let it be a contrast to being all caught up. Let it be like popping a bubble. Let it be just a moment in time and then go on. Pause. But why? For clarity. When we pause, when we give ourselves that moment, when we break the pattern, then we give ourselves the opportunity to create a new pattern, a new thought, to be aligned with principle. Pause, breathe, clarity. It's the idea of When you're flustered and confused and you're like, where are my keys? 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 And then you pause and breathe. My keys were in my hand the whole time. But you were so focused on, or I was so focused on something else that the obvious, where are my glasses? I just had my glasses. Where are they? Pause. I know they're on my head, Tracy. Calm down. Breathe. I had them all along. Clarity, that pause, that moment of repose, that moment of stillness, 3 conscious breaths, 1 conscious breath even, to gain clarity, to make a new choice, to have a new thought. Matthew 7, verses 7 and 8 say, ask and it shall be given to you. Seek and ye shall find. Knock knock and it shall be opened unto you. For everyone that asks receives, and they that seek shall find, and to them that knock it shall be open. Unless you're knocking on the door to, never mind. So breathe. If you ask, it will be given. If you seek, you will find. If you knock, it will be opened. So what are we asking for? What are we seeking? What door are we knocking on? Right? So what are you asking for in your life? What is it that you are seeking? Greater self-awareness, greater enlightenment. Got that. Which door do you knock on? Which book do you read? Which workshop do you take? Which class? Right? There are choices. But we pause and we breathe because then we have this amazing opportunity to step into the space of perception. And perception is that state of being or process of becoming aware of something through our senses, which we also know in this teaching, it is also through our intuitive and spiritual nature. Perception is also a way of regarding or understanding or interpreting something, a mental impression. And we say, we believe this teaching, right? One of our we believe says, and we believe in the power of this mind to heal and change conditions because our thoughts are impressed into the law and the law responds. But am I aware of what I am impressing? You know, the law looks and the law says, oh, Tracy, I'm impressed. What is that impression? So let's go back. Perception is the idea of synonyms, awareness and knowledge, consciousness and discernment. Discernment takes us right back to what are we asking for? What are we seeking? What door are we knocking on? Are we able to discern? So now, through our pause, we see, well, the first door, soulmate. Second door, $100 million. Third door, time machine. I don't know why, just it is what it is. Now that we have awareness, I know what each door is offering. I can discern. Now I know, what am I asking? What am I seeking? What door am I knocking on? See, this works the same way with a spiritual practice. Should I meditate? Should I chant? Should I reach out to a practitioner? What am I asking? I'm asking this question, but what am I asking that question for? I'm seeking this, but what am I seeking it for? I'm knocking on the door, but what am I knocking in order? I want it to be open, but why? Right? So breathe and step into that space of identifying what is it that I desire. Because we get tripped up with perception often. It's why arguments occur and wars occur. Because one thing can be perceived one way and perceived a completely different way and perceived a completely different way by different people. But the moment we pause and we say, hey, you over there, Mr. Number 9, let me avail myself to discern this thing that we are looking at from your perspective, your point of view. And now I see what you see as you see it. And then I can choose to operate in a different manner. Life, events, circumstances occur in our lives. For example, right now, my body is perceiving this thing called pain. Something's going on with one of my teeth, and it's causing me to, for the last 3 days, very little sleep because it hurts so much. My body is perceiving so much pain that I'm unable to rest and sleep. But the moment I give myself pause, breathe, be present with the pain, while I may not be able to get to sleep right then, I am no longer suffering per se. I am no longer trying to fight against. I am sitting with. And in sitting with, something shifts. I don't know if there's a tangible way of explaining it, but something shifts. And it's in that shift that clarity comes. Because while there's pain in the unexamined life, the pain causes me to perceive, well, when I go to the dentist on Monday, what if they have to pull the tooth? Well, I have surgery in a couple of weeks. Does that mean I'm going to have okay, well, but wait a minute. Wait a minute. What if? What if? Like, what if? Now I am perceiving a great many things that are simply made up at this moment. But when I simply pause 3 conscious breaths in this moment and give myself space to be with what is, then I am able to say, when I get to the dentist, it will be what it will be once the dentist does whatever they do. But for where I am right now, what is mine to do? Taking a leave, meditate, breathe, do Reiki. What is mine to do right here, right now? And breathe. Because it's real easy for us to go into judging good, bad. The pain is bad. Pain relief is good. Being out of pain is good. You know, and I don't remember what the particular thing is, but there's a certain thing where some people have the nerve endings in their hands are inactive. And people have accidentally placed their hands on a hot stove and burned their hands because they couldn't feel the pain. So we can say that pain-free is good, but in that instance, it's not very effective. And what is that? Something burning? Oh man, that's my palm. So when we pause, consciously breathe, discern, assess, be present, then we exit the state of judging. We no longer look at a problem as good or bad. Like the one Rubik's Cube, the whole purpose of the Rubik's Cube is to figure it out. So if I have the one on the right-hand side where all the blue, all the red, all the yellow, all the green, blah, 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 they're already set. What is the point in having the Rubik's Cube? The whole point of it is to mix it up and solve it and do it again, or pass it on to someone else to do it. So it's not about right, wrong, good, bad. It is see it as it is. Do what is mine to do what is yours to quote unquote heal, find the cause, know the truth, be steeped and grounded in principle. Because it's real easy for us to become so focused on whatever the condition is that we become inactive. So you're sitting in the house and water starts dripping from the ceiling in the living room. Now, it could be a couple of things. If I'm living in an apartment building, maybe the people upstairs are overflowing their tub. I don't know. But if I'm in a house and there's no second floor, there's no second story, where's the water? And I look out the window and it's raining. Oh, then the roof, right? So find the cause. What is the experience that we don't like? Pain in my mouth. That's the experience I don't like. Then what am I invited to do? Go to the roof, hire someone to go to the roof, and heal it, fix it, resolve it. There's a relationship with my siblings that There's a something going on with my finances that, like, whatever the experience is, it really doesn't matter. What matters is, are we present to it with clarity and pause in order to create the treatment plan to resolve that issue, that experience, that whatever it is, the healing that is being invited to take place. Anthony DeMello says, if you were to feel or look, right? If you were to feel or look or sit and make contact with yourself, feel, look, sit, pause, make contact with yourself, you would come to a space of silence and things would be revealed to you. What does our declaration of principle number 5 say? We believe in the direct revelation, not number 5, sorry, number 6 or 7. We believe in the direct revelation of truth through our intuitive and spiritual nature, and that anyone may be a revealer of truth who lives in close contact with this indwelling, all-dwelling presence that we call God. Direct revelation of truth. When we pause and enter into that space of silence, that place where the busyness is quelled, then whatever we seek, whatever we ask, the door upon which we knock, it is revealed to us. But the question is, are we present enough to even be able to identify or recognize the problem based upon the symptoms? So, symptoms: pain in my right jaw molar near the back, 3 teeth from the back. Pain, intense pain, throbbing pain, feel my heartbeat in my mouth, pain. Symptom. Problem, something's going on with the tooth or the jaw, something, it's the tooth, something's going on. The cause, I go to the dentist tomorrow and the cause may be root canal, cavity, I don't know, but that's what, so I have to be present to recognize and identify the symptoms, to then backtrack and say, well, what's the problem? Symptom: water dripping from the ceiling. Problem: hole in the roof. Cause: the tiles were blown off in that last windstorm that we had. Then treatment plan: clean the living room from the water damage, clean the ceiling and the roof and the right, fix the roof. We have to be able to identify. There is a systematic way of approaching, just like spiritual mind treatment. There is a systematic way in which we acknowledge God is all there is. It's all there is, then it must be right here where I am. Therefore, whatever this issue problem is, gratitude, surrender, like there are steps. There are steps to being able to cook a grilled cheese. There is a systematic way. But while this slide is pointing out like there's failure or problem, it's not just about failure or problem, because we can also say a systematic analysis to reveal one's truest desired experience of life and the effective methodology to create or manifest that life. So whereas that first bubble said, define the problem or areas of improvement. Define the problem. Maybe there isn't a problem. Define the desired experience. I want to experience happiness. That's not a problem. I want to, and see what we tend to do is we say, so as a practitioner, so what would you like me to pray? Well, I don't want to be sick anymore. I got you. But what do you want? Well, I don't want to have headaches anymore. I got you. But what do you want? Define the desired experience with clarity. What do you want? Breathe. In the Science of Mind Beyond Limits course, it says the reciprocal universe is the invisible counterpart of every visible form. Everything that is visible, even things that aren't visible, like I can't see atoms. I can't see air waves and sound waves, but they're there. They're measurable. All of that. has an invisible counterpart, a spiritual counterpart. We get what we give, if not now, then tomorrow. We attract what we are. Pause. We attract what we are. It's the general idea of the law of attraction, which is very complex, which we aren't getting into right now. But the general idea is, who am I showing up as? Am I showing up as someone who is broke spiritually, broke emotionally, broke financially, broke? I'm broke. Hey, Ray, can I borrow $1? Dude, I'm broke. Is that how I show up? Is that how I present myself? Because I'm going to continue to get, because those are the seeds that I'm planting. I will continue to get. So let us pause and say, moment of self-reflection. And I ask, what do I want to experience in my life? What do I want to experience in my life? More brokenness with my finances, more brokenness with my relationships, more broke ceiling, broke bike, broke tooth, broke. Bruh, I'm broke. Is that what I want to experience in my life? Then let me identify, what do I want to experience? Now, why do I want greater financial wealth? Why do I want greater love? Why do I want greater joy? Why do I want that? Because that is the energy of motivation that keeps me convicted in principle to do what is needed to be done. Because then I have to do action. What do I need to do to create it? Do I need to pray? Do I need to meditate? Do I need to put my resume on Indeed.com? Do I need to make a phone call? Do I need to go on a retreat? What do I need to do in order to create? The roof is leaking. The tooth is hurting. I'm not a dentist, so I'm not doing the whole Tom Hanks thing that he did in the Castaway movie. I'm not getting the ice skate and slamming my tooth on an ice skate to knock the tooth out. No. That is not what Ray is going to do. Ray, what do I need to do to create health and well-being? I need to make a phone call, switch from that dentist that I didn't really like, to find a new dentist who can see me ASAP. That's what I need to do. Then tomorrow morning, I need to wake up early and be in their office at 8 a.m. That's what I need to do. Also, while I'm sitting here right now in pain, what do I need to do? Not forecast what might be. Because let's be real honest right now. Years ago, there was this woman I knew whose father was experiencing dental pain. He went to the doctor, they pulled the tooth, and as a result of them pulling the tooth, he ended up with cancer, and I don't know the exact connections, but he ended up with cancer in his jawbone. They couldn't do anything about it. So what did they do? They removed his jaw. So this person shared the photos with me of her father without a jaw. It seared an image in my mind that right here and right now, I tell you that I am in conscious, staying steeped in principle so that that image is not impacting how I feel about what might occur tomorrow. No, I understand that's what was then, that was what he, that's what she, that was there. My experience right here, right now, at 11:26 in the morning Eastern Standard Time is to breathe, be present, be steeped in prayer, be steeped in principle, because we say this teaching, we believe in the healing of the sick and control of conditions through the power of this mind. Then it is time, and there's only one mind, that mind is God. The mind that I use is the same mind. Then mine to do, what do I need to do to create? Health, well-being, calm, serenity, trust, is stay steeped in principle. Then the question is, am I willing to change in order to become the very thing that I desire so that I can then really do what is needed? So if I say I want to be a multimillionaire, am I willing to change and give up my brokenness to be it? I want to be a published author. Am I willing to change this idea of, but I've got writer's block? Am I willing to change and become a writer before the book is published? Am I willing to know and operate from a place of health and well-being even before I step foot in the dental office? Am I willing to do the work? Again, the Beyond Limits course says, in the study of science of mind, we try to uncover, and it's not try, we work to uncover our hidden beliefs so that we can consciously choose. That's the key part, to consciously choose to change these beliefs in the areas of our life that are not working out as desired. The parts of our lives that are not going well, familial relationships not going well, then what beliefs am I invited to consciously change? Stop telling the story of my brother who, blah, my aunt who, blah, my cousins who. Stop telling that story. First of all, doesn't matter what they did in the past. Yesterday is yesterday. How am I changing my beliefs now? And even if they never change, I can change the narrative of how it affects me so that my life changes in how it's operating and going. But I have to be clear on, what am I asking? What am I seeking? What am I knocking to open for myself? So here we are with two images. And if I were to ask you, what are these two images indicating? They're showing us something. Feel free to put in the chat if you want, but I'm going to tell you. Destination, which is a target. I am intending to arrive at the dentist office. Destination. That is my target location. That is my desired point of arrival. It's where I intend to go. It's what I expect to experience in my life. Well, in this idea of, I love the art of Japanese archery, Kyudo, because it says the goal of most of the quote unquote archers is to have or seek this idea of correct shooting is correct hitting. To correctly shoot is to correctly hit. To correctly think is to correctly experience. To correctly forgive is to correctly heal. To correctly steward my finances is to correctly be, right? So it's this idea of go back to the cause, be steeped in principle, change my thinking, change my mental equivalent, change what needs to be changed so that the outcome changes. Action in Kyudo, the unique action of expansion that results in a natural release. When the technique of the shooting is correct, when the aim is there, when the intention is set, when the perception is clear, when the pause gives rise to, then the result is that the arrow will, in other words, be very clear with those beliefs, those paradigms. When we are clear, there is no space for the made up. Well, tomorrow there's 19 things that could be going on with the dentist in my teeth. Those are illusions right now. Those 19 possibilities. And we say, and get this, because this is what we say. Well, I want to prepare for the worst. You know, get all my ducks in a row. Prepare for, I'm expecting the best, but I'm preparing for the worst. You're not really expecting the best. You're actually expecting what you're preparing for. So pause and get really clear. What am I asking for? What am I seeking? What am I knocking? What is it that I desire to experience in my life? Holmes tells us that our hidden beliefs, those beliefs we are unaware of, and our deeply held convictions inevitably reflect in our experience and in our environment, both in the physical condition of our bodies and in our general life affairs. See, let's go back to that idea of there is a template, there is a divine template. And granted, there are, because we recognize that we also exist within the mass consciousness, the collective consciousness, and it plays a part in this as well, yes. However, if we simply give in to, well, that's the way it is, that's how it's always been, that's, you know, it is. then how do we ever change? My tooth has been hurting for 3 days now. It's how it is. And so I don't go to the dentist because there are a lot of us who don't. We deal with the pain because the fear of what might be told, might occur, the fear of the needle, the fear of the drill, the fear of the smoke coming out of my mouth keeps us from going. So we silently, or maybe not so silently, but we sit and we suffer. But we have an opportunity to change. So let us get really clear. What is the mission statement, the vision statement, my strategy, my goals and objectives, like for my life? Not just the business, but when we say as a business, who are we? CSL Greater Baltimore, who are we? What do we value? Well, what do we want to become? Okay, how do we achieve this vision? How do we live this? What are our core values? But those same questions can Raymont Anderson, who am I? What do I want to become? What do I want to be right now in this moment? How do I live and achieve this vision? What are my goals? What is my strategy? What is my action plan, my treatment plan to manifest accordingly, to live the life that I am stating I want to live? I have to ask myself, am I being reactive or proactive? Because if I am setting a vision, if we are setting a vision, we have a mission, we have core values and purpose and all of that stuff, a purpose-driven life. We are convicted, principle drives us. Then I am proactive. Okay, so if I'm proactive, then we ask, I don't sing because I'm happy because I sing. Which came first, the chicken or the egg? We want external things to change first before we change. Versus, no. Think of Tina Turner. Tina Turner was on a regularly getting beat by her husband. She didn't say, well, my life will be happy when I stop getting beat, when he changes. She said, Nam Yoho Renge Kyo. She changed herself, which changed her experience, which changed her life. As within, I'm happy because I pray. I don't pray because I'm happy. I treat. I move my feet. Which one comes first? There's this idea. Yeah, it's a dentist. Yes. Yeah, I figured I'd put it in there because talking about my teeth. But what comes first? Am I reactive or proactive? Do I wait until my teeth are like when I got 3 left, and that's when I go to the dentist? Or do I schedule regular cleanings? Do I brush and floss? Do I do what I need to do to be proactive in my health and well-being? Do I only ask Eugene or Marianne or other practitioners to pray when something's going wrong? Or do I say, I'm being proactive? I want you to pray for greater and greater happiness, wealth and health and joy and prosperity. I want to proactively lay down the foundation because I understand cause and effect. I understand how spirit operates. It doesn't say, well, first, boom, there's dinner. And then you have to go backwards and make dinner. Well, wait a minute, that doesn't make sense. If dinner is right here in front of me, then how do I have to go backwards? It doesn't make sense. So we understand dinner is the effect. What do I need to cause? Oh, I have to go to the store and get groceries. Cause I have to know what I want to make because that's going to depend on what I'm shopping for. Cause I have to then either have a recipe or have my stuff in order, my seasoning. Cause so that then there's the effect. But the effect isn't even just sit down. There's dinner. And just look at it. Sonya, don't this look good? Oh, this. No. It's not for eating. It's just for looking at it. It smells good too, doesn't it? Like that's not even the ultimate effect. The ultimate effect is to ingest it because it tastes good. And then the ultimate effect from that is also to nourish the body. So what is the ultimate thing that I want to experience? Eric Butterworth reminds us, Prayer is not something we do to God, but rather to ourselves. It is not a position, but a disposition. It is not flattery, but a sense of oneness. It is not asking in terms of begging and beseeching, but knowing. It is not simply words that we say, for I understand that God is all there. It's not the words, but the feeling. It is not the will, I have to force this into being, but the willingness to allow it to be expressed and embodied and known and shown. That's what prayer is. So our question then becomes, so what is our mental equivalent? What are the thoughts that we are thinking? What are the emotions and feelings that are being felt? What words are we using in communication? And what are the actions? Because all of this, pause, all of this is impacting what we are experiencing. And if we don't pause to investigate and assess and discern the thoughts and beliefs, then we're operating based upon hand-me-down thoughts and beliefs. If we don't pause and say, what am I really feeling? I'm feeling triggered. And this feeling of triggered, no, wait, pause. Triggered is a thought word. I'm feeling angry. I was triggered, thoughts. Something was done or said, triggered me. This is the feeling, anger. Anger caused me to say words. You know, I want some cookies. Actions, I got up, drove to the store and bought cookies. Do we pause and say at any given moment, what am I feeling? Where is this feeling? Am I happy because I sing, or am I singing because I'm happy? What's going on? Pause and really identify and discern what's going on with us. Ernest Holmes reminds us in the book, It's Up to You. Any person, whether they are sweeping streets, building bridges, preaching sermons, raising the dead, or running a hospital, if they are fulfilling themselves to the level of their present comprehension, is just as perfect as God. It doesn't matter what the person is doing. If they are aware, as Marianne said in the in-service spiritual practice, let go and let God be God as you. And in that moment, you recognize it doesn't matter if I'm sweeping streets. I am just as perfect as God. It doesn't matter if I'm laying manure for the farmer. I am just as perfect as God. I am in pain. I am just as perfect as God. Because pain is not what I am, it's what I am experiencing. So my present comprehension recognizes my thoughts, my feelings, my words, my actions, and all of this reminds me I am just as perfect as God. He goes on to say, we will never get anywhere with a consistent spiritual philosophy unless we come to see that we are just as perfect as God. Breathe. Just as perfect as God. In the Matrix, Morpheus reminds Neo, see, Neo, what you must learn is that these rules are no different from the rules of a computer system, and some of them can be bent and others can be broken. This system called life, some of the rules can be bent, some of them can be broken. I must know that I am the one who is charged with standing in principle and knowing the difference, discerning the difference, so that I am able to then operate effectively, to live life on my terms more effectively. Our spiritual practices for this week simply define my personal vision, mission, purpose, and core values. Me as a person, the corporation called Raymont. Secondly, what do I really want to experience physically? Both my body temple and my physical space. What do I really want to experience? Relationally, in my relationships with whomever, financially, spiritually, intellectually, emotionally, what do I really want to experience? Pause, ask, pause, seek, pause, and knock. What do I really want to experience? And then lastly, have a conversation with two people about your mental equivalent and the collective equivalent and how these two both interact and impact one another. And what are you doing to bend and or break those rules? So pause for a second as a quick example. In the collective equivalent, there is still racism. In my individual mental equivalent, I am already dismantling any remnants within me of that. So in doing that process and identifying my agenda of healing as a Black man, I am identifying what am I to bend and what am I to break. In the rules of the collective domestication, the dream of the planet, as the Toltec teaching would say. How am I invited to bend and or break those constructs? Then, what are you being invited to practice and embody in order to live your life more on your terms as you desire? And we breathe. This week's affirmation declaration, if you are in alignment with it, first I will state it, and then if you are in alignment with it, declare it with me on the second go round. I am the co-creator of my life. I am the co-creator of my life. I am the co-creator of my life. Does that resonate? If so, let us declare together. I am the co-creator of my life. And we breathe. So let's anchor and ground, recognizing the isness and allness of everything that was spoken and meditated and sung today, that every word, every hand that has moved in sign, every announcement, every laugh, every breath, every pause has been that divine activity of spirit moving, living, and having its beingness, acting upon itself, and how good and glorious and grand it is to actively engage in this process of creation, co-creation, demonstrating and manifesting a life, a world that works for all. One thought at a time, one feeling at a time, one word and one action and one human interaction at a time. It is from the overflow that we live in this joy and this peace and this harmony. And so while service here, this particular thing is coming to an end, that which we are as the divine universe in expression, serving and acting upon itself, will continue forever. Breathe. Allowing the law to say yes, knowing it says yes, and simply availing ourselves to this grandness as the universe does what it does. Show up as answered prayer. That is what is. And so it is. And now it is. Amen. Namaste. Blessings. Much love to you all. See you over in the Zoom room.